196,000. That's the number of American men and women who joined the military in the year after the terror attacks on 9/11. And after heading overseas to fight, many of these soldiers came home in need of jobs as they transitioned from military to civilian life. Drexel Hamilton has been leading those efforts on Wall Street for the past 15 years. The investment bank is 100% veteran-owned, and vets account for 60% of its workforce. Its goal is to help give back to service members who sacrifice so much for us. With me now is Drexel Hamilton President John Martinko, and former U.S. Army captain who served multiple tours in Afghanistan and Iraq and has received 3 Bronze Stars during his military career. John, thank you again for your service. Thank you for coming on today to talk about this. And where are we in this sort of effort to hire veterans now that we're trying to wind down the wars in Afghanistan especially?
Yeah, thanks, Kelly. Great to be on your program again and be with you today. It is true that the unemployment rate when I left the service about 9-10 years ago was exceeding 20% for military veterans. It's averaging about 5% a month now. And where we stand right now is, especially for the financial industry, what Drexel Hamilton does so well is help those transitioning military veterans find employment in the financial industry. And that is a direct result of a lot of the initiatives that have been put in place to help keep that unemployment rate down by the large banks and the larger financial institutions in their veteran initiatives. We've been able to partner with them in underwriting and trading businesses and build, because of them, a successful distribution platform to participate. And that growth in those corporate treasurers who are including us in their own way of their veteran inclusion for deal flow is only helping firms like ours grow in the space and provide additional employment opportunities for these transitioning military veterans.
Sure. And forgive me for asking, I don't know the details, but were you one of the people who signed up post 9/11 to serve?
Yes. When I graduated West Point in 2001, the towers were struck shortly after. I spent 6 combat deployments in Afghanistan of my 7. I participated in the Iraq invasion between a couple of those. I was served in the first 10 years of this 20-year war that just ended. And, it was extremely difficult, my own situation, to come home and find a job. And I think the strength of Drexel Hamilton is the fact that we're 100% military veteran owned. So we've been there in their boots before. So the folks that are returning, we're able to get best practices, leverage our network, or find employment opportunities with us. I have a great example of a young man who was hit in an ambush. Just last year, he was introduced through our network and a lot of the incredible 501c3s that we're partnered with outside of our for-profit business. I'm a board member of Army Ranger Lead the Way Fund. That's how we got connected. He took a gunshot to the leg. He was being rehabbed to try to get movement back in his foot on his 12th surgery at Walter Reed. We were at his bedside and he took it upon himself. We became his sponsor bank, put him in our internship program, and he got fully licensed. He's a full investment banker now, has the underwriting capabilities, and he's helping us cover corporate treasurers.
Wow, that is quite a story. It actually makes me wonder, John, what is the future for veterans as part of the workforce as our wars themselves wind down?
Yeah, and that stat I think you gave in the beginning, it's just an incredible stat that less than 1% of our population is serving on active duty right now. If you let that sink in for a second, that's not as much of a representation of the U.S. population, but the United States military is so incredible. And these veterans that are transitioning, they've been input, especially your JMOs, your junior military officers, and your junior enlisted, like we're seeing, when they get out, they have been faced with such adversity, such difficult problems, whether in training or on the battlefield, that they've had to overcome. And that type of curriculum and that experience that they have is not going to show up in a B school or an undergraduate program. But having these individuals and these folks in your ranks at your business is only going to make you a better firm.